Hey, I'm right on cue. I'm actually getting okay at this. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this latest edition of That D&D Podcast's Argent Springs Adventures Dungeon World Mega Campaign. That's feels like it's a bigger mouthful every time. Hi, my name is Aaron. I'll be playing the part of the DM tonight. And before we get into our journal entry and the action and adventure, let's go around and introduce ourselves in. Why don't we do Discord order? So Danielle, then Manuel, then Patrick.
Hey, I'm Danielle, and I will be playing the part of Six Voices as one.
Okay. You want to give us a rundown of like appearance and pronouns and all that sort of stuff?
Um, she was an acolyte, so she still has her robes.
Okay.
And old scars inflicted by the priests cover her palms and soles.
Oh, good.
Wait, just a bit of souls as in the feet souls, or souls as in the souls?
Yes.
Soles of her feet.
Are
With
these
6, you don't know.
are these like old healed like burn marks? Is that part of like the immolator training, or are these just like run of the mill cuts and scrapes and stuff that are just kind of healed badly over time?
Well, she had particular jobs to do as acolyte, and if she ever messed up, that's why she has those scars.
Oh, lovely.
That's also why she is not part of that faith.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it. Okay, let's go next to Manuel.
Hi, Amal. I play Sage, who is basically a living plant living inside a human skin, disguised as a human. And yeah, see, they are genderless, so because they are plants, so they use the pronoun they.
Okay. What class is Sage, and what do they look like? Like outward,
Yeah.
general appearance. Do they just walk around naked and they're like a collection of plants inside, or?
They are a bird. They look, they resemble a human, a male human
Okay.
with a short beard and a shaved hair.
Okay.
And he wears shoes, short, shirt with short sleeves and short pants.
Okay.
That works barefoot.
Shorts.
They need that photosynthesis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, and next, let us go to Patrick.
Hello, I am Patrick. I shall be playing Neve, whose pronouns are she, her. She is a extremely short orc, half orc, half halfling, half orc. She has really bright red hair, but now she's wearing a nice cowboy hat,
Okay.
as well as and carrying this axe that is quite literally twice her size.
Does the
Okay.
handle collapse for fitting through doorways?
Nope, she literally has to like maneuver that in. She still has not. She's figured out how to put a gun on the axe, but she has not figured out how to get it to collapse yet.
Mm. That sounds like some Bloodborne weapon morph mechanics that you just got to figure out. There's a button somewhere, and then you can click it into like a scythe or something.
I mean,
Next on the list. Don't give Neve ideas, she'll just add more to the axe.
didn't you pick versatile for that weapon? So it has an extra range?
It is versatile, so that's more of base. I kind of think of that more as how she uses the axe. So she has it with reach and with close, so she's able to just like swing that thing back and forth. It's also finesse, so it's also off of dex instead of strength. The axe that's twice her size is off of dex, yes.
So, like, at close range, she just strikes people with it like a staff or something.
More like she just pulls it back. Like I take it more as how she's trained with the axe. She's able to use it in like all the different ranges at this point, and like so close, far, and the way she just maneuvers it, she's able to smack people around with it fairly easily. It's less about how the axe actually moves and more about how she moves with the axe.
That's fair. Does anybody else have any character stuff they wanted to kind of go over before we do the thing before we get started?
Oh, Neve is also our resident detective and is a super sleuth when it comes to detective work.
Totally won't come into
Uh,
effect here. It's fine.
Not at all. She's not investigating anyone in the Menanke at all.
Good.
Also, Sage, since they're a plant, they require just a bit more water to survive than most humans.
Oh, good.
We're
So-
already short on that.
It's totally fine.
Yeah. And that's why he need to take these jobs to afford the water.
Get those water rations going.
Why couldn't you have been a cactus?
What class is Sage in?
Bard, they like to sing
A
the
bard
songs of the
like a-
forest.
Like
And
to
the
sing
fighter work.
about the Moona and the Juna and the Springer. Okay, so before we get into the action, let me read another little entry. I think from now until either the story part is revealed or until the end of the season, whichever comes first, we'll start each episode with a little journal entry. So it says an entry from the Journal of Ashley Silver. I'm in. Well, maybe. I have some tools at my disposal, and I have some information about where to use the tools. I greased some palms, and I paid people to look the other way, and maybe fabricated some mild narcotics for people looking to unwind. But I'm in. All their secrets will be laid bare to me, and I can expose them for what they are. But I need to start small. I need to look for vulnerabilities, and I need to find something unprotected so where I can unpack these data worms I spent most of my life savings on. It looks like the sprinkler systems are the most vulnerable. Everything is controlled by Aiden, which means it's all networked. I'm going to work today just like I do every day. On my lunch break, I'll broadcast the worm in short bursts from my wrist pad. A few seconds should do it, and it'll be hard to pin down who did it in a cafeteria full of data streams. And then there's an entry a few days later. It says, I'm not scared anymore. I'm just mad. They used me. They used my skills and my labor and my knowledge, and they used it to hurt people because they just don't care. And that stops. If not with me, then with someone who comes after. But rest assured, I will not stop until this company is out of the hands of the greedy demons in suits who run it right now and is instead producing something good for the people of this world. Anyway, it's lunchtime now. I'll write again soon. Ash out. Excuse me.
Somebody somewhere is rolling up a demon in a suit.
Roger Rogerson.
Completely human.
Uh-huh.
Because the true monster was man all along.
I was about to say, you can be a human and still be a demon. I just want to say that part.
Oh no.
Um,
Roger is pretty much the essence of capitalism.
So, as we do pretty much every episode. Sage, why don't you roll a d6 for me to determine your starting money, since you are
Right.
a new character?
1d6, right?
Yes, 1d6. And 6, you've played the emulator before, right? Okay, just want to make sure. All right, so Manuel, you start with, Sage, you start with 40 coin. And you are all summoned as per usual to come meet with Ash. She has papers upon papers upon papers strewn across this table, probably to where they're not even a few dozen, maybe a few hundred pages thick at some spots on the table. She's compiling some of them and handing them to the orc, the head of the orcs. She's got a few other ones that she hands over to the leader of the kobold. She's got a few she hands to the goblins. She's pointing very firmly at a few things on a map that she hands over to a guard captain and kind of claps him on the shoulder and sends him on his way. And as you all approach, she looks up and she says, "Oh, hey, are you all ready for today's mission? Oh, sorry, there's a new one here. Hi, I'm Ash. I guess I'm like mission control. That doesn't make sense right now. They don't understand mission control.
Hello.
Hi. Who are you? What should I call you?
I am Sage.
Okay. Do you do like magic stuff? Do you see the future? Is that why you're called Sage?
I was called after Atlant.
Oh, okay, that's Sage. That's totally fine. I just figured if you had like future telling powers, you can. It's a whole bunch of. It's fine now. Don't worry about that. Just that's a line of questioning I don't need to go down. Well, hopefully, I don't know how you wound up in this pleasant corner of the globe, let's say, but I'm glad you're here. We can always use people who are willing to get their hands dirty and protect this town.
Yes.
And on that front, are any of you scared of being underground? Like,
I am not.
okay. Six or Neve, are y'all okay being like, I mean like really far underground? Probably far enough to where this question doesn't even make sense to ask you because you haven't been this far underground before.
I'm scared of being underground yet, Ashley.
Okay, good. And she kind of cocks the eyebrow at you real quick and then shrugs it off. Six, are you good? Are you willing to be our light in the darkness, so to speak? She kind of chuckles a little bit.
Neve just crosses her arms and stares at her.
Who is Eve staring at?
Ashley.
He's being very specific about that name.
Very specific.
We shall bring our light into the darkness.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. And she claps her hands together and she says, "Okay, so, the Monanke's bad. You all know at least that much. A long, long time ago, there was a company operating out of this. A company is basically just like a very, very large business that kind of wants to take over the world. There was one of those running out of here, and it was called Transigen Dynamics, and they made a bunch of very bad things, and it was run by very bad people, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to... I think things are starting back up, and we need to stop that. So, the mission today is we're going to go to the bottom floor, and you're going to basically protect me while I make the computers in there work for us.
Computer?
Ooh. How to explain computers. Okay, so, you know how there's the teleporter thing, and it makes you go down, it turns you into goo and puts you down the chute, and that's how you go between floors. So that is a small, somewhat independent version of a computer. And computers have these things called artificial intelligences, which is what somebody made that basically is supposed to behave the way a normal person would in a given situation, and that way you don't have to worry about paying for a person. You just have this fake person that lives in a box and is okay with it. I guess they assumed, and that sort of thing. So we're going to go to the bottom and basically free all of those artificial intelligences from their contracts, let's say.
Fake person pretending to be something they're not. I wonder what that's like.
Enough.
Sage just planned it somewhat nervously, but still somewhat calmly. Admin.
I'm sure it's terrible to have to live a false life, and that now, it's great that people are able to be their true selves and use their gifts for the good of the town, Neve.
Sage
It's almost
now.
like you trusted someone for a long time and then find out that their entire existence is a lie, Ashley.
It's almost like the person also found out that everything that they thought they knew was a lie and is kind of trying to deal with all of that shit and keep a town from crumbling under the weight of enemies on the outside and the inside and in the top fucking floor with us, Neve.
It's almost as if the person that someone trusted the most in the world, who they looked up to, in fact, turns out to be just a fake person who doesn't actually seem to be willing to tell the truth about anything. Ashley.
You got questions?
No.
I think at this point she's like got her she's digging her fingertips into the table, like not just pushing herself up. Her fingers are actually like digging into the table, and she's leaned over and she's looking at you and she says, I'm all ears. If you've got questions, I'm an open book. You want to do this right now in front of everybody? Let's go. What you got?
Neve's just going, let's just get this over with. And
Let's.
She begins to walk to the elevator.
Do you all need to stop for supplies or anything before we leave?
Is there any equivalent to a bottle of water or something?
Sure.
Like a water skin?
Yeah, you can get a couple of those. You can get like one to start with, and then after that, buying extra water rations might actually cost like money.
Yeah, so I guess I add just one to inventory.
Yeah, just add one. It's like a day's worth of water, and they throw in the food with it. It's like your daily ration. And if you want another one, it would be like a coin for like 2 or 3 days worth.
Alright. Do they have a weight?
Let's just say mark it down as 1 for right now. Should be fine. If we get to a point where we have to manage, load and stuff, we can get more granular then.
It's mostly just like, should Sage being a plant person that needs quite a bit of water.
Yeah,
He just plans to drink it at one point.
just kind of have one of your hands just in it so you can absorb it as you walk.
Yeah. I know. I guess that's it.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything they need to get?
You feel sufficiently prepared.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. So you are all led to the teleporter. It is immediately silenced by the wave of a hand, some administrator credentials, and a command to bring you all to, I think it was the 75th floor. And you're at a place we've actually visited before. Is you get out, and this is kind of the end of the line for the weird transport thing, and you have to swap over to I almost said a helicopter, an elevator.
Can we please switch over to helicopter? The monkey's huge.
It's a ground helicopter.
That's a car.
So yeah, you get to there, and uh, Ash says bottom floor, and puts like pushes a bunch of different floor buttons, and it seems to be some sort of code to actually unlock the lower floors. And on the way down, she's just kind of just whistling some different songs. Like if this was a movie, it would be probably some sort of like licensed song that actually starts playing from like the 90s or so. Um, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now because, of course, I can't do it on the spot. Um,
So maybe something Killian would appreciate.
Maybe so. Ooh, yes. So,
Apparently she's whistling the all on the watchtower. Battlestar Friends.
okay, so there's a song by a band called Echo and the Bunnymen, and it's The Killing Moon, and I think that's actually what she's whistling on the way down. Maybe listen to that after this and get a little mental image. It's totally fine. Or pause it if you're watching the VOD. It's cool. So on the way down, she says, yeah, you're going to want to stay in the elevator for just a minute after we get to the bottom floor. Or don't. I just think you might not be as durable as I am. So,
Understood.
Neve's just leaning on one of the corners of the elevator as far away from Ashley as possible.
that's fair. So after, God, it probably feels like 5 or 10 minutes or so, the elevator actually gets to the bottom floor. You hear a boom, and it opens, and the space in this bottom floor of this ridiculously deep dungeon is it's immense. Like walking out, you almost feel like you're outside again. Like you actually see a blue sky with clouds, and you see these buildings stretching off in the distance, and you see these strange kind of ovalish things with people inside, kind of zipping about in the air, back and forth between the buildings. And Ash steps out of the elevator and she turns around and she says, okay, so I just want you to know, none of this is real. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Is this the heaven that Killian keeps telling us about?
This is the world that used to be in my time. Not actually heaven. It looks nice.
I mean, it looks kind of lame to me, but where's all the sand?
There's the ocean.
The ocean was privatized and sold to the highest bidder, and the sand became a commodity that went with the ocean. A lot of everything was artificial. Just imagine somebody painting the outside of a piece of fruit, and the outside stays nice and it looks great as the inside slowly rots. So those people who are high enough up to enjoy the actual dwindling resources left, or able to rise above the stink of the habitation blocks that millions upon millions of people were forced to live in near constant darkness. Those people enjoyed an okay life. Everyone else had sorrow and suffering.
We prefer the desert above to this.
At least the desert's not a lie. And
Things in it are.
she walks over to this panel, and kind of you can hear metal creaking as she pulls the panel off the wall and gets a couple of wires and taps them together, and the sky starts to get fuzzy and sort of flicker, and the sounds that apparently this thing has been generating fizzle out, and they stop as well. And the last thing you hear is it sounds like somebody honking at somebody else. And as the rest of the sound dies, there's just this burp burp that echoes off the walls and kind of back into nothingness, and it's sort of like that last little glimmer of what the world was supposed to look like back in the day, just sort of pervades around you. And you notice in front of you, there's a hallway. It's not, after all the things you've seen, it just looks like a regular hallway. It's like white walls, white floors, white ceiling. And Ash holds up a finger and she says, "Stay on this side for just a minute. I have to deal with some things." And she begins running down the length of this hallway, and before too long, you see this this box up at the top with a little lens on it. Follow her, and it starts blinking red, and things start coming out of the walls. These panels slide out of the way, and there are sharp objects that are moving almost as quickly as you can see. There's things being fired from one side of the wall to the other, and she is rather expertly dodging all of it. It seems like she's been here before, and then when she gets to the end, she goes around a corner, and you hear a crunching sound, and then all the countermeasure things just sort of slump over. The shots start firing, and she says, "Yeah, it's safe now. If you wanna come on over."
He's gonna examine the things that were shooting things.
They're kind of set in the wall. All you see is a little tube that's sort of flush with the backside of one of those panels.
Can I try to rip it out?
You can give it a try.
Ben bars lift gates, I'm guessing.
Sure.
A 7. Choose 2. It doesn't take a very long time. Nothing of value is damaged. It doesn't make an enormous mouse. I'm gonna do nothing of value is damaged.
Okay.
And it doesn't take a long time.
Okay.
How's the lighting down here?
The hallway is well lit. You don't see the light sources, and after the initial part of the hallway, it just sort of fades into kind of the spreading darkness that is this cavernous area.
Okay. We will roll up our sleeve, ignite our brand.
Okay. 11. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Excuse me. All right, so choose 2 of the following: hand, thrown or near, +1 damage, or remove the dangerous tag.
I'm gonna go with thrown near and remove dangerous.
Okay. So make sure to make a note of that. 3 uses. Each attack with the weapon consumes 1 use. Okay, so basically your whole, yeah, you got a nice glow going.
We will begin heading down the hallway to where Ash is.
Okay. 1 second. We were having some stream issues. I wanna. Jeez, it's dropping a lot of frames tonight. Son of a bitch.
Say she's going to be close to 6, saying that she can summon light, which Sage kind of likes.
You feel drawn to
Oh,
the
Sage.
light.
Don't go to the light. Did I get anything from ripping out the
Yes.
gun things?
So you're able to remove a couple of the tubes. They are made of some sort of a weird alloy that you haven't seen before, but as much as you've, wrenched on them and stuff, they're not bent. They just, whatever they were mounted onto broke. And these tubes
Got it.
are still intact. There's no visible ammo feed mechanism or anything like that, so now you just have some good tubes.
Okay, I'm gonna put this into metal tubes.
Nim, I can see Nim adding that alloy to her axe.
Oh,
You
jeez.
see one weight, right?
Yeah, one weight's fine. Yeah,
Okay. They're not
They're-
doing anything just yet.
yeah, they're relatively light, also, which is interesting because for something to be this sturdy, you usually expect it to be kind of hefty too, but not so much. It's very light.
Just gonna put that in our pack and follow along.
Okay. You all get back to Ash, whichever one you want to call her. She's waiting on you all. I think Six gets there first, and she says, "Yeah, sorry about that. Let's say I've had the benefit of repeated attempts to get through this hallway. It, yeah, I lost count after about 1,600 tries, but we made it. I don't tend to give up on things, so yeah. Shall we continue onward?
Yes.
Great. She says, okay, so the next part is theoretically we're going to get into it's a vehicle. Let's just call it a horseless carriage and get in it and don't ask too many questions.
Is it like horse?
Sort of less wooden and more comfortable. Also, I really hate the fact that you all named the cart horse and the horse cart. I just want to say, as far as like, for somebody who has to transcribe all of the things for that adventure log, well, I guess I don't have to anymore. Now that, oh geez, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, everyone kind of died on that mission.
Yeah, including the horse and cart. So,
Especially the horse and cart. And Zephyr.
yeah. So I mean, feel free to look around if there's anything you wanna, see. This hallway is pretty plain, aside from the things in the wall that are trying to kill us. Aside from that, it's just your everyday wall. And anyway, I'll be up ahead. You'll know where I am. It's fine. So you all have a hallway with there's like a seating area at the other end. There's a large desk right past that, and then Ash kind of goes through this set of it almost looks like armored double doors that she just sort of pops open and walks past, and she walks off further down the hallway. So if there's anything in here you guys want to investigate, feel free, or you can just keep on following. It's totally up to you.
I think Neve's just gonna keep following Ash. Lee.
So she's going to stay close to Six.
Okay. So Six, what are you doing is the question, I suppose.
We're at the desk.
It's corporate property, man. It's got an asset tag on it.
It has a what on it? Oh,
An asset tag. That's,
Quick, steal all the office supplies.
just switch the tags around so somebody goes to scan it and it's like, wait, this isn't a chair, it's a desk.
What?
Low-level corporate pranks. The best kind of pranks.
I'll just continue.
Okay. So you walk past the desk and the seating area and everything. You get to the armored doors, and you notice there is a very like a very clear outline of somebody's hand, like a kind of dainty hand where it just shoved into the metal until it buckled enough to open the door. And if you go through, you see Ash. She's maybe like 100 or so feet ahead. Excuse me. There are these strange glowing boxes, kind of interspersed on both sides of the hallway, as between you and her.
He's gonna check out one of the glowing boxes.
Okay. It's got this glowing rectangle that says "Place badge here," and then below it, it looks like 9 or 10 different buttons with bottles of strange liquid depicted on them.
He's gonna push one of the buttons.
Please scan identification.
He's gonna push another button.
Please scan identification.
Push another button.
An assistant will be dispatched to help you.
Neve kicks the machine, goes to go see Ash.
Give me a strength check.
God. Why? Is this Defy Danger strength?
Yes.
Awesome. Then she gets a +1 to the -1 because of work. Still a 3.
Class modifiers?
I think
No,
that's after modifiers. It's a 3.
After modifiers.
So you kick it really hard. Roll me like a D2. It'll be this damage will be piercing because it's your foot on the inside of your shoe.
1.
1 damage. Okay, you take 1 damage. And this thing rocks back and forth, and it says tampering detected, anti-tampering measures enacted, and
Mother of Killian.
you hear there's a whining sound, and a bottle shoots out of it straight into the ground, and it sort of it hits with just straight on the bottom, and the top of it pops open, and then it sprays this cold, sticky brown liquid all over you. Incident report created. Please remove incident report. And there's a little paper sticking out from underneath the screen.
Neve takes the incident report. Shoves it in her pocket.
Acknowledgement of incident verified. Have a great day, Vandal.
Neve looks at her axe, looks at the machine, and just like shakes her head, and goes over to where Ashley is.
Did you want a drink? You don't have to wear it.
She just silently walks past Ashley a little bit and just like goes against one of the corners and just sits there.
She looks back at the other two and she says, "She's been really messy since like the day we met. Anyway, do any of y'all want
At least I said who I was.
just moving on. Do any of you want do you want to try something from the old days? This stuff should be relatively well preserved. There's drinks and snacks, and you can sort of see what kind of food we had back in the day. If not, that's fine. I just figured it might be a fun curiosity before we get to the more serious part of things.
Is there a potted plant somewhere?
Yes. There are pots that have plants growing out of them, but it's not like maintained in a way that you would normally associate with like a well-groomed potted plant. It looks like something's been watering it, and it's slowly been spreading for who knows, centuries, millennia maybe, and it looks like at one point there was actually a side hallway off of this one, and it's sort of just all a giant mass of like vines and branches and leaves, and it makes this kind of cool tunnel that you probably have to crawl on your hands and knees to go down, but it's several hundred feet long of plant tunnel.
Sage is just going to approach the closest point to the plant.
Hmm.
He's going to lay a hand on it and smile, contemplating before going back to the group.
Okay. Um, there's some sort of sense of familiarity when you touch that plant. Kindred spirits, maybe.
If we had a larger crew, we might retrieve all of this food for the people upstairs.
Oh yeah, that's totally fine. Heck, once all this is said and done, if it goes according to my theoretical plan based off of 3,000-year-old information, I may be able to just have these things bring themselves up to the top floor. We'll get to that when we get there.
Convenient.
Yeah, I was gonna say the future is weird, but I guess it's really, really far in the past. The past future was really strange, and it had some cool things. Um, anyway, let's keep on going. Are you all ready to take a trip? Do any of you get nauseous in carriage rides?
Sage is going to hop on top of the carriage because he has never seen anything like that before.
Yeah. So as she extends an arm, and there's this, it's like a slightly metallic, but it feels different if you touch it. Um, for those of you at home, it's made out of, like, metal and plastic. And on the top, there's this bubble made of glass. And there seem to be doors on the side that you can open and get inside. And Ash opens one of the doors and motions for you all to come in if you want. And she looks at Sage and she says, I mean, on top is fine if I'm not going to tell anybody how to live their life, especially when things are so crazy. You get your joy wherever you can, but it might be safer inside. Again, no judgment. You do you. I'm going to be inside the vehicle, though.
Neve gets into the front passenger seat.
Okay.
Sage stares at Ash as he speaks, then looks inside, kind of frowns and stays on top.
Okay, that's totally fine.
We will sit in the back, I suppose,
Okay.
and be sure not to touch anything.
Yeah, that would be good. So as this, as Ash gets in and closes the door, uh, the system asks for identification. It's a very kind of monotone but somewhat pleasant male voice, and Ash gives her administrator credentials and tells it to head over to the main complex. And it acknowledged, and it begins to move, and it says, no smoking in the car, please. And this thing comes down from the ceiling, and Six, it points at your arm, and it looks like it's drawing some sort of glowing membrane around the fiery part of your arm. It's not touching you, and it doesn't feel like it's trying to hurt you, but it's basically shielding you from the car and vice versa in that one particular part of your body.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Excuse me. Oh god, the drop frames are finally going down. Thanks a lot, Twitch. Stupid. Do you resist the weird bubble in any way, or are you just gonna let it do it?
Ash, will this machine be a problem for us?
I don't think so. It's mostly just to make sure that the vehicles don't burst into flames in flight. Fireballs aren't great when you're in it. Excuse me.
We will trust that you will be able to remove it should it persist after we.
Oh yeah, no problem. In fact, I'm pretty sure I can fly. I haven't tried it like for long. I figured that might be weird. So I was gonna say the car would be better, but you've all never seen a car, so it's kind of weird either way. Anyway, look, we should be there in a minute. So if your arm keeps having that thing around it, let me know and we can deal with it. But I think you should be fine.
Are we there yet?
Almost. Hey, Sage.
Yes.
This thing is going relatively quickly. I think I'm gonna need either Defy Danger Strength to just like super grip in there, Defy Danger Dex to somehow roll with the movement so you don't fall off, or Defy Danger Con to just sort of endure the wind and kind of bundle up in place.
Sage is going to grip himself tighter.
Mhm.
Just try-
Or Defy Danger Intelligence to get in the car.
Yeah.
Ooh, 6.
No, damn it.
6. That's totally fine. Got it. So, you're able to hold on just fine for most of the ride. And what it does is, in order to somehow like bleed off extra momentum, it begins to spin right towards the end and kind of pull itself in different directions. So it spins a few times and comes to a stop right over this landing platform. You fall off when you're probably 10 or 15 feet up. So I need you to roll me a d6 for the damage you take. This is going to ignore armor. Excuse me. And you're going to land flat on that water ration that you just got. And it's just going to kind of splash everywhere.
Yeah.
Who needs water? So you all disembark one way or another. And if you look kind of in the direction you came from, you can barely make out these faint lights that are probably the place you came from, maybe a mile, 2 miles away. Ash looks at you all and she says, so this part coming up next may get a little hairy. If you want to head back, I won't hold it against you. I mean, okay, I'll be pretty pissed off, but I'll get over it because, I mean, I understand this is probably kind of a lot to deal with. But I would appreciate it if you all came with me for the next parts.
Sage is too busy trying to lick the water that is on the ground.
Okay.
Neve just crosses her arms and looks at Ashley.
She's going to look over at 6 and say, I hope you're in too?
We are, but first perhaps we should tend to our friend Sage.
Yeah. I mean, he seems
take out
okay. Yeah. Go for it.
We take out some of our poultices and herbs and hold them out in both hands to Neve.
Neve shakes her head.
Will you not do this for us? Our hands are not steady enough for this task.
Oh, Neve now realizes what you were asking, and Neve nods her head and goes over to Sage. And she's like, stay still for a second. And she begins to wrap him up.
Okay. Strangely enough, the things that are being applied to your body, Sage, they feel warm, almost like sunlight, and you feel the wounded parts of you kind of moving closer to it, just to try and bask in the warmth. And as you do, you realize the wounded parts of you are fewer and further between, and you feel a little better. How much does a poultice heal for?
7.
7, damn. Yeah, you feel all the way better after a little while.
Right. Also, there's it looks like there are like something wriggling under his skin as that happens.
Probably totally fine. Everybody has skin wriggles.
Oddly enough, Neve's seen weirder, so she's not even phased.
Weirder might be standing right here.
Yeah, Sage eventually does get up. Because all this was happening while he was still licking the water off the floor. And he then finally gets up and starts following behind Six again.
Okay. So Ash says, yeah, so this next part, basically what I'm going to do is try and remember how the sky was fake? Pretend there's a whole world inside of one of those computer things I told you about that's fake, and there's somebody who's basically the king of that world. I need you all to protect me while I go into that world and kick the king off his throne and claim power, basically.
That sounds fine.
Neve glares a little bit.
We understand all of. We are ready.
What are you doing
I'm
exactly?
turning one of the biggest threats to the town into a resource.
I'm going to, Neve looks at her like it is like examining her, which is my way of saying that I am going to discern realities.
Sure.
That's okay.
Go for it.
Let's see if I can find it.
8. You get to ask one question.
Between 2, I'm gonna go with with the idea of what is about to happen. Like, what is she going to do?
Do you want the what Neve can understand version or the what the viewers can understand version?
Let's go with what Neve can understand. You could even say that what viewers can understand, but I will listen to what Neve can understand.
Basically, with the way she's responding to you and kind of, the way she's presenting herself and stuff, she's telling you the truth. She's trying to basically wrest control of this enormous and powerful system to help the town instead of being a source of constant danger.
Okay, then that's what Neve's gonna cautiously go along with it because
Okay.
she still doesn't fully trust Ashley.
Putting some stank on that last syllable of her name every time.
Go figure.
I just don't understand. So she says, okay, before we go to this next part, I have there's a thing I need you to take. I made these, and then she holds out these small, bright blue, shiny capsules. Smaller than probably like a fingernail. She says, on one of the recent missions, I got a protein printer, which basically lets me try and make medicine and other ability-enhancing substances. So I'm going to need you to take this so that you can be as capable as possible for what's about to come.
So she's going to take one of the pills and observe it. They are confused because that's not how their particularly body works.
Yeah. She looks at you and she says, you just put it in your mouth and you swallow it. Your normal human mouth. Just put the pill in it.
At the word of normal human mouth, Sage gets like a shiver, and then she's pretending to swallow it, but it just falls into the chasm of his abdomen.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't catch what the pills do. What did the pills do? Sorry, there's something. I was looking away.
They basically maximize your potential. You're sharper, you're more focused, your reaction time's better, that sort of thing.
And she's giving it to us for what reason exactly?
Because you need to bring your A game for the part that's coming up ahead, basically.
Neve's gonna put that in her pocket and not gonna take it.
Okay.
And we will take the last one and hold it up and study it for a moment.
In the fire hand or the not fire hand?
The not fire hand.
Okay, fair. I just wanted to check.
Put in the inventory as blue pill.
It has the weight of potential, so that weighs actually 7.
Oh shit, I'm encumbered now.
I'm weighed down by the possibilities.
Weight of potential.
Not really. So 6, are you going to take it?
In the end, yes.
Okay.
Not after, bracing ourselves for what is possibly about to happen.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so you all head in, and this place is it's a blinky maze, basically. There's just walls in all directions, and they're made of these weird humming, blinking objects, and there are actually 2 humans who stand up when Ash walks in, and they say, "What are you doing here?" And they go to reach for, it looks like a weapon or something. And then very soon after, they are pointing them at her. And they say, "We need some explanation for who you are and who these people are." And Ash puts her hands in the air. She turns around and she looks at you all and kind of cocks her head to the side. See what you're going to do.
Neve looks at them. And she doesn't grab her axe per se, and she's going to be like, I'm Neve. This is 6, at least one of them. And Sage. And this is Ashley. And we're here to... And she just thinks back for a little bit and she's like, with quotation marks, dethrone a king?
You see Ash's head kind of slump forward, and she's like, "Fuck, okay. Good. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Huh, green lady?"
It means, don't piss me off.
One of the 2. So there's one who's not fat, and there's one who's not thin. And the one who's not thin points their gun at you.
And he's like, last chance.
I don't know if you know this, lady, but I'm authorized to use this thing.
Neve shoots him. Clocks it and shoots him.
Okay. Roll me a volley.
A volley, right?
Yeah, to see if it hits.
Okay.
For those of you at home, Neve found a gun, and thanks to Neve's cool blacksmith thing, the gun is part of the axe now. But since bullets aren't really a thing here, Neve only has 6 bullets, like total. Not 6 ammo,
Okay.
6 bullets. So this is, you're down to at least 5. Do you want to put yourself in danger, take -1 d6 on the damage, or use an extra bullet?
I'll use an extra bullet in this case.
Okay.
So,
Damn. Okay, roll your damage for me.
1d10 plus 1d8. 16 damage.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
this dude is dead. Like,
Neve warned him.
so the first shot goes a little bit wide, and it hits one of these blinking things, and the whirring begins to get louder, and you see some sparks, and then slowly you just hear doosh, 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 as like an entire row of these things powers down and goes inert. And so does the guard after he gets shot in the chest. And the other one goes, oh, holy shit, holy shit. And then,
What about you, guard number 2? Do you want to take your chance?
I don't want to die. I'm just doing my job. They told me to watch this area. It's part of my contract.
Good choice. Good choice. She puts her axe away.
What do you want me to do?
Stay out of our way.
Oh.
And she looks at Ashley. He's like, it's up to you now.
Should I just sit at the security desk?
Yeah, go sit in your corner.
Oh, yeah, okay. And he slides his gun. He takes the clip out and puts it in his back pocket, and he slides you the gun. And he says,
She
"That's
looks
my
at
only
him.
gun."
He's like, I want the clip too.
I'm not gonna give you ammo to shoot me with.
I won't shoot you, I promise.
Well,
But
then
I
why
want
do
the clip.
why do you, how about on the way out?
She looks at him. Fine, but I'm coming for it. And I won't shoot you, but if you don't give it to me, I will shoot you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, totally, man. Lady, sorry, ma'am. I'm not used to this. They have me in a freaking server room. I don't normally have to get shot at.
Eve then goes to the other guard, picks up the thing, and takes out the clip as well.
Yeah.
Pick up the gun that has slid on the floor over towards us and melt it with our other hand.
Nice.
Right
Damn.
in front of the other guard where he can see it.
I like it.
Eve actually looks at you. She's like, I could have used.
And he
There you
says,
was.
this could have all been avoided.
We didn't shoot anybody. You all shot people. We asked questions and you shot first.
You took out your gun and aimed it at us. Don't put that one out on us.
Yeah, but you were intruders.
Yes, and I gave you a chance to surrender
I-
before getting shot.
We gave you a chance too, and we didn't shoot you.
Yes, because the person who shoots first is also the one who should shoot last.
That's bullshit. He didn't have to die. His contract was almost up.
It's 2 days from retirement.
He retired early.
So 6. If you want to melt the gun down, I'm not going to make you roll for it, but let's say it'll cost you a use of your brand thing.
The handcrafted is a distinct move from the brand.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Excuse me. So yeah, Ash stands back up and she says, "Well, that could have gone better, I suppose." And the guard who died fell face down, and she sort of nudges him over with her foot and grabs a badge off of him and looks at it. Okay. And she says, "Okay, so odds are there's going to be countermeasures that will deploy once I start my work. I'll work as quickly as I can, of course, but I need to do this thoroughly and I need to do it well. So that sort of things kind of makes the not taking any time a bit harder. Do you need me for anything before we start doing this? Because I'm probably not going to be able to help with anything while I'm doing this other thing."
What kind of countermeasures are you talking about?
People, if we're lucky.
Got it. Neve cocks the gun again.
Yeah, let's just go with that. People, if we're lucky.
We go over to the body of the dead guard. And
I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
Right before this big fight.
What were you saying, Zix?
we'll say, go in peace into the next, and touch our brand to the corpse.
Oh, it's
Like one for her.
gonna smell real gross in here. Okay.
After Six does that, Sage is going to start looking inspecting the body, see if there's anything interesting.
Well, the body. If I understood that right, I think the body is now going to be on fire.
Yeah, that's our intent.
Okay.
That case is going to get quite a surprise.
Yeah. Roll me 2d6, Sage. I'm gonna see how lucky you are, and if you find anything before the fire kind of really kicks off. 2d6 plus probably int. What's your int mod?
-1.
Okay, great. So 4. You. Oh, sorry. What?
Sorry, I am also going to take this opportunity to break.
Okay, go for it. So yeah, you find it's something that's wrapped up in. It looks like some sort of really flexible metal. So you grab that, and right before the body goes up, you walk away with it. It appears to be a little package made out of some sort of like super shiny, super flexible metal, and it feels like there's something kind of soft inside, and it's kind of warm.
Does it have a ring on it?
The metal?
Yeah.
It's sort of folded up, but there's really like no identifying features or anything on it.
Is it like is it food?
Yes, probably. It's a warm foil packet that smells pretty tasty.
Exactly what he does not need.
And I'm back.
If you were to open it up, there's there's a printed and warmed raspberry pastry that's got a few bites taken out of it.
Yeah, so she's going to inspect it, open it, and then when he sees there's vegetable
Mm-hmm.
or fruit stuff in it, he's going to toss it away.
Okay. It lands with this sort of wet, gross squish sound. It's super delightful, I'm sure, for everybody around. So now there's the smell of warm raspberry pastry and a growing smell of burning corpse. It's a great combo.
Wait, did we just burn a corpse?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And I choose those over a sandwich. Or a pastry.
Excuse me. So, as you all do that, Ash says, "Okay, I'm going to try and not get us all killed. So, hopefully, you all can contribute on that front, on the not dying part and the protecting part, and we'll see how things end up." And she opens this door in one of the rows of boxes, and inside there's a chair, and there's this almost looks like a weird hat, and there's a big bundle of wire sticking out the top of it, and she lowers it and she puts it over her head, and you can see her reaching in front of her and manipulating things that you can't see. She does this for probably like 15 or 20 seconds, and she says, "Okay, I think this might be it." And then there's a smile, and then all of the lights in the room go out, and she goes, "Shit, nope, nope, sorry, hold on a second." And she raises the thing, and the lights come back on, and she goes, "Okay, so I figured out what that was. That's the lights. I am the queen of the lights now. Yay. It's progress. I promise it's progress." And she says, "Also, I'm getting a notification that we have company."
Takes
And
out her axe.
she hits a few things, and she goes, "You should be able to see them now." And you can see a little ways away, the area that you all aren't standing in kind of goes dark, except for this. There's this one series of lights that's coming on. It looks like it's following a group of people who are heading towards you.
Sage is going to take out his sword
Mm-hmm.
and then start singing a melody.
Okay.
Neve is gonna stand in front. And
So
she's
I'm-
gonna.
Oh, sorry, that was an arcane art roll.
Okay.
Did you roll?
Yeah, I didn't see a roll. Try one more time. Oh, wait. There we go.
Nice!
Dang, a 10. All right. So when you weave a performance into a basic spell, choose an ally and an effect. So you either get to heal damage plus 1d4 forward, their mind is shaking clear of an enchantment, or the next time somebody successfully assists that person, they get +2 instead of +1.
It's going to be plus 1d4 forward to damage to Nim.
Jesus, okay.
Neve's gonna go to town on these guys. So Neve's gonna, like, crack her knuckles, and she's like, okay, one chance to turn around and walk away.
Not a chance, intruder. You don't make the rules here. Bravo team, fan out.
Bad decision.
Six, where are you in this whole setup? It sounds like Neve is sort of like headed forward. And I think Sage is kind of in that same area y'all are in. Do you want to head somewhere else, or are you just kind of hanging out with the group?
Can you tell us what the room looks like again? I missed that part.
Yeah, let me draw it out for you.
Yes, that would actually be appreciated.
Okay.
Because I came in just as it sounded like you were describing a cubicle.
Okay. So these are all like the big banks of server farms things. There's another one here. And it kind of just continues seemingly forever in all the directions except for where you came from, which is here.
I'm guessing that's where they're coming from.
These people are coming from. I'm gonna put some color stuff. So Neve, I'm gonna put you here. 6. Oh, that's not gonna work. 6 and Sage. There we go. And then you're going to have. It sounds like people are fanning out. So there's one here, one about here, one coming up from over behind you guys to the right, and one of them coming up. It looks like they're gonna get to Ash before they get to you, just from a distance sort of standpoint.
And he's going to prioritize the one that's going toward Ash.
Okay.
We are going to follow behind after Neve.
Okay. So you're going over this way. Are you going to say anything, Neve, or are you just gonna take this person out?
Neve's going to Neve's going to take out her gun axe at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Point it at him and be like, another step and it's going to be over for you. This is last warning here. And I'm going to guess this is a Pearly.
I guess so.
Because she is trying to get them to stop, but if they don't stop, she's going to.
Shoot them.
Yeah. So, +3.
And we'll add to
14.
How do you have a +3?
Neve has a +3 to charisma.
Fuck. Okay.
Neve's level 8. She's.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. Let me pull up the SRD real quick. I want to. I'm not as prepared as I should have been, apparently. I never expect the parlay.
Yeah, I tend to go to parlay these days because Neve is trying to be a better person.
On a 10 plus, they do what you ask if you first promise what they ask of you. So he says, "Look, this doesn't have to come to violence. We'll back away as long as you all leave now."
We're not leaving now. I won't shoot you if you just turn around. I promise you. We will leave in Ash time.
I got the water and the lights. So we have the utilities. It's a monopoly. That doesn't make sense to you. Sorry. It'll take a little while longer.
And a little while longer.
And the person looks over at the. I don't think they knew where Ash was. He goes, "There's somebody in there?" "No, absolutely not. We leave after you leave. We'll escort you out, and then nobody has to get hurt. That's how this is going to end."
We leave when she's done.
"No, you leave now."
You do realize I will kill you. This is not an if. I have fought things much bigger and much stronger than you. There was this one guy with, like, an octopus that was, like, things that just hit like a brick at a truck, and I killed that thing really quickly.
Fantastic. Last chance, leave.
Last chance, back off.
He's going to shoot you.
And she's gonna shoot him.
Okay. So, hold on. Let's see. Roll your volley. And I think y'all shoot each other at the same time. So you're going to get counter shot because it's kind of like a synchronized thing. Since you...
That's fine.
Yeah. So you do your damage to this guy. We're going to call him guard 1.
When I guard 0, he's about to be dead.
Remember the
Because there's another D4 as well. Oh, only 8 damage. That was the lowest damage I think I could have rolled.
He
Oh, wow.
is alive. So he spins as the bullet hits and shoots you too. So I need you to roll me a D8 plus, no, a D6 plus 2. Sorry, I can't read my own notes here.
Okay. Minus armor, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, whoops, I rolled it wrong.
What was the effect of the arcane art again?
Neve gets +1 d4 forward to damage.
Is that
Okay.
for this entire battle?
Forward is
Forward is just
once.
one.
Just once, right? Okay, just want to
Yeah.
make sure about that. Cool. Ooh, max damage.
Nice. I
Yeah,
think
I'll take that. I'm not doing too bad.
Okay. So this guy, like, as he catches the bullet, he does that, action movie spin where he goes, ah, and he goes down, and he's, ah, and he's trying to reach for a walkie-talkie to call for additional backup, and he's like, shots fired, shots fired, they're resisting.
We recommend
Wow.
you stay down.
Neve doesn't look that phased by this, by the way.
You don't understand. If we don't do this shitty job, we're worse than dead. And he's slowly trying to like push himself up against one of the server things to balance a little.
Neve looks at you and she's like, honestly, not sure if I trust the person in there, but according to her, whatever she's doing is gonna make sure that you guys are not worse than dead.
From inside a cabinet, you hear, "Hey Neve, I can hear you. Fuck you.
Ashley, fuck you too.
We'll fight later, okay?"
Okay.
Hate they.
One big happy family.
Six and Sage, what are you doing? We have one guard who's been shot, and the three others are moving in, it looks like, or it sounds like.
3 ammo?
I'm hearing steps coming from the left,
Yes.
and I'm going to try to stab guard number 3.
Go for it. Excuse me. Ooh,
Nice.
12, damn. Okay, do you want to
Damn,
open
man.
yourself up to counterattack and be able to do an extra d6 to the enemy?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So by the one to your left, you mean this one up here, G3?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were thinking the same orientation. Totally fine. So let's say right around when he rounds the corner, you get
Right
your attack. So yeah, roll it. 4. Okay. I think based on the gunfire, this person, I mean, they're trained and they know there's X amount of people here, but I don't think they were expecting you to just be right there. So this catches them off guard, and they're taking a moment to sort of recollect themselves. As this one, excuse me, out here seems to fall back behind another bank of servers. And you can hear a little squelch on everybody's walkie-talkies as the person says, "We need reinforcements, not just human. Send in all the backup, please." And you hear, "We are processing your request. Please hold. Please stay on the line. Thank you. Your life and your call are important to us." And there's like real shitty hold music playing.
Yes.
It's a 10-second loop. Bad quality. Spanish is actually fun though.
Yeah, that's fair. So 6, I think you're the only one who hasn't acted this round. So what are you going to do? You have, it looks like from your vantage point, there's 2 visible ones. There's one calling for help, and there's another one who is located in question mark.
Number 3 is calling for help.
Number 2 over here is calling for help. I guess from where you are, you can kind of see them. You're probably the only one who has a good vantage point to that person. Oh god, it's dropping frames again.
We are we are actually going to stay in position where we are and turn towards like this general
Mm-hmm.
this general direction and defend.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Roll me your defend move, please. 7. Okay, so you get 1 hold, which you can use for any of those items on the list when it becomes appropriate. And I think as you're preparing for something to come, this person has propped themselves up. The first guard who got shot the worst is propping himself up against this bank of servers and is just slowly trying to get their footing again so they can act. The one who was stabbed at and is sort of momentarily stunned is collecting themselves and getting ready to do something. You're pretty sure there's a fourth one who none of y'all can see. Sage may be able to. And then there is the one who is on hold. And right about when you all get ready to act again, you hear, "Request granted. Please remain on the line until help arrives." Beep boop. And then it hangs up, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense given what it just said, but there you go. Yeah, so what do y'all want to do?
Neve's gonna start walking toward guard 1.
Mm-hmm.
Walking, and she's gonna be like, "Look, I get that you're doing your job, but I am doing mine to protect this person, and I am really trying to be a better person, but every time I try, someone I care about dies." And she walks toward guard 1. So, last chance to stay down.
But I'm standing back up again.
Get down.
But I really don't want to.
You really do.
They sort of puff up a bit and says, "Do your worst."
Neve's going to roll an attack.
Are you going to axe or shoot?
Axe. This time's his axe.
Okay.
I'm asking him a question.
Oh, boxcars. Great.
She's gonna chop off his arm, by the way.
Okay. Would you like to open yourself up to damage to do an extra d6?
I'm pretty sure this guy's not surviving this one even. So
That's Patrick info, not Neve info.
fair enough, but I don't think she's not putting herself in any danger in this attack per se.
Okay.
Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's fair. So roll your ridiculous d.
5 damage.
Okay. So I think he shakily tries to point the gun in your direction, and just as the hand is lifting, it just and the hand drops to the ground. And I think when it lands, it fires off a bullet that ricochets a little bit and probably takes out, hits another server. And you hear the fizzling and the winding down of whatever is making these things work. And Ash says, "Okay, so I'm monitoring and y'all are doing great work, but if you can keep these things from not getting shot, that'd be fantastic."
Neve don't push it, Ashley.
"I'm the queen of the air conditioner. You will not talk to me like that."
What is an air conditioner?
"It conditions the air, Neve."
Why do you need to do that?
"I don't. It was a thing that happened. Shut up." So that guard is super dead. And you have the other 3. This one who got attacked is going to charge over towards Sage.
Oh, I'm probably by guard 1 at this point.
Yeah, you're over here. So yeah, that one's going towards Sage. I think there's probably enough time for either Sage or Six to act, but not both before he gets to Sage. So one of you do a thing, and then we'll face the consequences.
Sage He's going to try to reach into the new hole that he tore up into the guard. Try to pull something out,
Wait,
but too much.
you're going to try and pull something out of the guard? The one that's alive?
Yeah, from
Okay.
the stop room
That's totally fine.
as an attack.
Fine. Oh God.
I was gonna say at least the lights are almost out, but no, like it's full, like almost blinding brightness in here. So it's gonna be very high contrast whatever you do against the white floors and white walls. I assume this is a hack and slash roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do the thing. 8.
Aaron, should I be taking any minuses because I didn't take the pill?
Nope.
I realize that now. Okay.
That's totally fine right now.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so you do 5 to this guy, which let me pull my sheet up. Okay. I'm gonna make a. No, I'm not gonna. That's the thing. Okay, so this guy, you definitely pull something out. It seems vital based on how quickly the life leaves this person. But the thing about an arm that's swinging when it's attached to a body that suddenly goes all the way dead and falls to the ground is you get a little bit of extra stank on it. So there is some crackling rod thing that you are just beat over the back of the head with. And this is going to be a D8 plus 2 damage as this shocks the bejesus out of you and your component bits.
Not that bunch of bejesus out of it.
3, yeah, that is minimal bejesusing right there if I have ever seen it. But see, the thing is, the plant had minimal bejesus in him to begin with. So,
All soft tissue.
yes.
Oh. Turns out plants aren't super conductive. Go figure.
They're well grounded. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry is the thing, though. I'm not. So, yes, there's 2 down. One of them you hear not so much fleeing, but definitely breaking any sort of line of sight between you and them. And you hear from over here, kind of on the other side of this wall, you hear a clicking sound and some beeping. And then more beeping.
That sounds fun.
And you hear something rip and they go, shit, no. And you hear something clatter to the ground. Yeah, 6, what's up?
Can we roll our defend again, potentially?
Yeah, that's fine.
Would the holds add on to it, or?
No, it would replace it. So, like, if you got a 6, then it would be worse. If you got, a 10 or higher, you'd have more hold. But I don't think it would be cumulative.
Just curious.
Additive? I don't know words. It sounded like they're 4. Oof. Okay, so, you set yourself up in a position where of all the things that you've seen in your life that you're prepared to help defend against, you are pretty sure that you have checked all of those boxes. The only problem is these people are dealing with things from like 5,000 years ago that are way more advanced, so it's not great.
It's a grenade.
We're probably looking a
Oh.
tiny bit distracted.
Oh, let's hold on 1 second. +2. Okay, yeah. Wow, snake eyes.
Just the
You definitely know where something is because you hear the sound of footsteps kind of racing off, and then you hear um, you hear them say the word ease, and the other one says Roger, and then right after that there is a deafening shriek that is coming from the other side of this wall, and it's reverberating through the room. And I need you all to roll me a Defy Danger Con to somehow uh, endure this horrible noise and not be like nauseated and incapacitated by it.
10.
Nice. 8, okay, for 6, and 7 for Sage. Okay, well, none of you got a 6, so that's good. Hold on. Debility. Oh my god, why is this so many things? There we go. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so you get to choose either confused, stunned, or shaky. But basically, you're going to have to take a debility and get -1 to that particular modifier until you make those sounds go away. And 6, that number will take place after that other number that I gave you.
Oh no.
shaky it is.
Okay. And Sage, which one are you taking? Shaky.
Confused.
Confused? Okay. All right. That last knock to the head shook something loose. Brain not work so good. I love these. Yeah, so there is some horrendous noise coming from the other side of these server things. And this person has fled to somewhere over here. Whoops, left a leg behind. Hold on.
So wait, where is the noise coming from? Exactly.
I'm going to draw you a little thing. The noise is coming from here.
Okay, time for need to go check that out.
Okay. Are you going
Say-
to head over and check it out?
Yeah, Need's gonna go check it out.
Okay.
Sage
What
is
were
going
you
to
saying,
follow
Sage?
the noise too.
Okay. Let's say you arrive on different sides of this rack thing. You see these. It almost looks like some sort of metal spider kind of stuck onto the side of these things in like 3 or 4 different places, and they have a little light on them that pulses as the sound gets worse. So it seems like whatever it is, these things are working in tandem to generate this awful, awful sound.
They grapple to the walls with the legs.
Yeah, they're stuck on like on the sides of these server things. You're not sure if they're drawing power from them, or if they're just positioned there because that's where the person was. But they're sticking out of the side of the servers. Yeah.
Sage is going to try to force one of them out.
Okay. Give me a Defy Danger Strength to see if you can do it. 4. Woof. Please hold. So you don't pull it off. You get most of the way. Like you get, let's say it's got 6 legs and you've got like 4 of them. And suddenly the legs reverse their direction and they dig into that little fleshy part right here on your wrist, and they just stab it multiple times, and you can feel some sort of electrical impulse feeding into you. So you're going to have the weak ability on top of your confused ability for the time being.
Joyful.
Need's gonna take her axe and just smash one of them off.
Okay, are you trying to like shave it off or just smash it into the servers?
I'm gonna shave it off.
Okay, well now I know what the fail state's going to be. So
Yep, same.
I guess yours is Dex for your axe. So
8.
8.
So I take damage, but
Well,
unless this is a dex. Oh, wait, this
yeah,
is defy danger.
yeah, it's
right,
a defy
never mind.
danger, so I have to give you a worse outcome. So, you either, um, so either you're able to take this one out, and you have to hit it into the server, possibly doing damage, definitely doing damage, or the server remains intact, but you don't kill the spider.
Gotta flip a coin
Okay.
quickly. I know which one's which. I'm just gonna. Okay, she's going to listen to Ash and Ashley and try not to.
Okay. So this thing remains. 6, how are you doing right now over there? Kind of probably not feeling super great.
We will collect ourselves again and continue holding this position.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shout, "Hey, 6, we could use some melty action over here."
Cora, go away.
Nice.
10,
Actually,
very
no,
nice.
keep what you're doing. Defense is great.
Yeah. So, yeah, you are ready to. Are you standing here or kind of closer to where the guards ran off to, which is more in like the, I guess, southern direction on this map?
Same position.
Okay, that's fine.
We are the rock upon the shore. Break on us.
I like that. So, yeah, you hear off in the distance there is a very regular. You don't actually hear it, you feel it because there's currently other stuff occupying your ear holes. You feel it's just every now and then, like every 2 or 3 seconds, it's gonna boom, 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 boom. And it seems to be getting just slightly more pronounced as time goes on. So something's coming.
Where is that coming from? Is there a way to tell?
It's kind of making the floor vibrate, so it's probably off to the to map east in some direction, but you can't get better detail than that.
Eve is going to start heading map east toward this thing.
Okay.
She's like, "Guys, I'll handle that. You handle them." And she's gonna walk toward the direction of where this thing is coming.
Okay.
As away from the servers as possible.
Yeah.
So is a spider still stuck in my hand?
No, it let go right after it sort of forced you to let go.
Right.
They seem to only have like a certain amount of time that they stay active. One of them has stopped producing noise, and the 2 that remain they're not as loud. It's hard to imagine that you'd get used to a sound like this, but it doesn't seem like it's as loud as it was.
Sage is going to try to shake off the aching hand and then try to use the short sword as a leverage to try to take another one out.
Okay, that sounds like a plan to me. Why don't you do another defy danger strength?
Oh my god.
3, Jesus. You get some leverage, and this thing it stops making noise for a moment, and then you hear this whining sound that builds up, and it pulls itself really hard into one of the servers, and not only does it overload whatever circuitry is in there, it snaps your short sword right about in the middle.
So it snaps it, break it basically.
Yeah, so it still sort of works, but
It's a -1 to attacks, I'm guessing.
I think you're gonna do like one less damage with it until you get it fixed. It's basically a dagger at this point, unless it was short sword. It's like that cool one from Shadow of Mordor, where it's all like broken and you stab people with it.
The shards
that-
of Narsil.
Yeah, that sounds right.
The blade that has been broken will be reforged.
And we can take care of that after the mission.
Yeah. No, if we all survive this mission.
Well, that's convenient.
Could possibly take care of it now.
Neve's gonna go fuck some big thing up.
So let me mark some X's where we have servers that are down. I think there's one over here-ish. There's one other one. I don't know, let's say it's like here.
Hey, good news is the sound's out.
Yes, the sound has actually died out. Sage and 6, you see Neve tromping off into the distance. There's no sign of those guards that you all can see. If you'd like, you can try to search them out, or you can follow Neve, or you can try to stay
Neve has
and
been
defend
very
Ash.
clear about not following her.
Yeah, but Neve's not your supervisor, you know?
Yes, but you don't not listen to Neve.
She doesn't sign your ration checks. Does she? No, she's not a treasurer. That would be insane.
When she's level 10, she might.
God. Nobody's making you the bookkeeper. Just, it's not happening. So yeah, Sage and 6, what would you all like to do?
Aside from that exit that's marked on the top, the other one's on the east.
So the exit marked on top is where you all came in, and you're not sure if there are any other exits, but it seems like the guards who filtered in came from the east, and whatever is making that banging noise, it came from the east as well.
It's gonna die in the east.
And we'll go about here
Okay.
and continue defending.
Oh, I see what you're doing. I like it. Okay.
Say she is going to go a bit further, but not too far, trying to see if they see anyone else.
Okay. Ping on the map where you're trying to go to. Just if you click and hold, it makes a little ping like that. Okay.
There.
From here, I mean, with how well lit it is, there's as you walk that way, you see a person to your left who looks absolutely terrified, and there is a person to the right who is on their walkie-talkie, and they see you, like they make eye contact with you, and then like they start trying to back away.
Say she's going to look for the one that seems to be doing something. So basically, to the one with the walkie-talkie.
Okay.
Then yeah, he's going to try to stab to the chest, or try to.
Okay. I think this person has like they pull out another one of those baton things, and they're looking at you and they say, "Look, you can turn around and you can leave. Backup is coming, and if you don't leave, you're not going to survive. And I will defend myself. I'm not going to die useless."
Sage just ignores. Yeah, he's just going straight for the kill.
Okay, great. Roll me a hack and slash, please. It takes so long for it to populate. 7. Okay.
Oh, no. Yay.
All right. So do your damage. 4.
Wait,
Okay.
that's for some reason it's not counting the -1, so I think that'd be at 3.
Okay. That's Thank you for keeping track of that. And yeah, this person, like, as you stab them, they're able to catch it before you can kind of put your full force into it, and they deflect it out of the way as best they can. And then there's like this wide swing with their shock baton, just trying to make contact with your center of weird wriggly under the skin mass. So this one's gonna be a D6 plus 2. Five.
Minus armor.
Yes, minus armor. Neve, were you around when everyone took out Halcyon?
Yeah, I was one of the ones who took out Halcyon.
Okay. So picture Halcyon had like a big brother.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
And there was a bully that picked on that big brother. That's what's coming down the hallway to you.
So in this hallway, it's right at the end of the hallway at this point?
Yeah, it's so okay, it's not actually a hallway. The server room is enormous, and this thing is tall enough to where its legs touch down on both sides of like the server racks, so it just kind of walks above them all.
Neve takes out her potion,
Okay.
drinks that, and goes charging at this thing.
Okay. I assume you're gonna try to kill this thing.
Yeah, and she is raging now with the rage potion.
Let's see.
Self-induced anger issues.
I'm addicted to
Before
rage.
she takes it, she's like, look. Before she takes it, she looks at this thing and she's... I have tried so hard to be a better person, and everyone I care about dies. And you know what? I am not letting another one die. Even if there's a chance that the person that I care about is still in that person, I'm gonna defend them. And she takes out the potion, and you're gonna die before you get to them. And then she's gonna drink.
Okay. I think as you're swigging it and the rush of blood is filling your ears, and like the only thing you can really hear at this point is like your own angry heartbeat. I think the last thing you hear is Ash's voice just saying, "No, don't kill it. We."
Nope.
So yeah, feel free to run up and try to murder bot this thing.
Neve smash. D6 plus 14?
Would you like to open yourself up to
Yes.
counterattack? Okay.
Yes. So one, I'm chopping off one of this thing's limbs because it's a 12 plus.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to open myself up for a counterattack, so it's 2d10 plus 2d8 plus 2d6, right? This rage doubles everything, right?
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was doubled or if you kept the best, like if you rolled twice and kept the best result for each one.
Ooh, I don't remember what it was.
Let's do the keep the best result one for now, and then we'll revisit it later.
Sure, that's fine by me.
Yeah. So it'd be 2d10 K1 plus, whatever. The K1 just keeps the highest value.
So 2d10 K1?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just all one thing?
Yeah, you should be able to do the plus whatever K1 plus whatever K1, and it should take the best of all of them. I guess we're going to see how bad we can fuck up the Roll20 rolling system.
K. K1.
Oh shit, it worked.
Damage.
Okay.
Brutal.
Okay, so you do some damage to this thing.
One leg is off of this thing.
Yeah, like you've completely broken one of the legs off, and the thing is, as it's trying to right itself, something about the way you hit it, it breaks this panel open, and like 3 or 4 people slide out of this thing, and they're covered in some like clear goo, and they have this almost looks like something biological sticking out the back of their neck, attaching them to this thing. And as you wail on it, eventually those cords become cut and tangled, and you see this thing shuddering and not doing great. And finally, it regains control a little bit, and it oh shit, sorry, drop. I don't say sorry, I just dropped something. But hold on a second. And it looks down at you, and these little hatches pop open, and there are guns, and it's got this slashing blade on its front leg that it's going to try to hit you with. So the damage that you take is hold on. Boop, boop, boop. I need you to roll 2d10, keep 1, plus 2d8, keep 1, plus 6.
Nice.
Oh,
10,
geez.
keep 1 plus 2d8.
It's
Keep 1
Yeah, it's basically yours with just plus 6 at the end, so instead of the
plus
2d6.
Okay. I'm going to, instead of taking that damage, Neve is going to, it's going to, like, I feel like she gets hit in the arm, with, like in the chest, which makes her feel a lot like, actually no, she's going to be stunned by this. She's going to be, like, stunned a little by this. Like,
Okay.
she's going to be taking it and she's going to be stunned by it.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, that's what's going to happen. So instead she takes the stun ability.
Okay.
Because bloody Aegis.
Yeah. So I think what it's going to do at that point while you're stunned is it's going to squinch down a little bit, and it's going to launch itself like jumping spider style past you. And it is probably going to land like here. And all of the guns are going to point towards the cabinet that Ash is in. And it's going to like prepare to let loose a volley. So 6, do you want to try to strike it before it acts, or are you going to just like defend whenever it chooses to act?
We will shriek our warning at it in 6 voices. No further.
Nice.
And if it's going to volley, we are redirecting that attack to ourselves.
Okay. Okay, if you're actively redirecting it to yourself, I need you to hold on.
That's a hold.
Right.
Is defend.
Right. No, yeah, we're going to use that. I'm going to get her to roll the damage that you just rolled because it's going to her. Yeah.
Sorry, Sex. I was hoping to kill it before it even got any further.
Plus 2d8, plus 6. Okay, so yeah, just copy paste that and put a slash in front of it, and we'll see how bad this feels. Oh.
Ouch.
We are going to spend the second hold to cut that in half.
Why though? That's totally fine. 21? Blackjack. That's blackjack damage. That means you win Dungeon World right here.
Oh, no, wait, no, it's not 21. You did a plus a 6.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to be plus 6.
Oh, I thought it was plus 1d6.
No, that's what I was saying. I was like, it's basically yours except with a 6 instead of the 2d6 part.
Oh, okay, sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah,
that.
it doesn't matter because you shrugged it all off anyway because of your fighter bullshit.
No, that's a paladin bullshit.
Oh.
So half makes it 11, right?
Yes.
Which means I have another move that applies.
Okay.
Oh, no.
When you take damage, and that damage is odd after armor. How much armor do you have?
None, actually.
Okay, fair. flames within you come to your aid. Roll 1d4 and either add that many uses to your burning brand. If active, take that result forward to summon your burning brand, or reduce the damage by that amount in your choice. Wow, okay, so roll a d4. 1. So you can either
It's
make
not
it...
great, but it's more than 0.
Yeah, you can either make it 10 damage, or add an extra charge to your burning brand.
That did 10 damage.
I'm gonna put that against the damage.
Okay. So, I mean, all these bullets are just peppering you. The amount of damage that you've taken would kill weaker people several times over, but somehow you're still standing, either through faith and conviction, or some sort of inner drive, or just dedication to protecting people, whatever it may be. You're still here, and you hear from inside the cabinet. Ash says, "Holy shit! Thank you. I'm sorry this didn't happen sooner, but I think. Hold on." And you see some lights blink, like inside the little cabinet she's in, and the same series of lights starts blinking on the spider robot, and then it backs up and does like a little weird dance, like it's rubbing its hands together, and she goes, "Yeah, okay, I think I'm the spider now."
Nice.
Six, do you want to be a spider?
We're probably, at this point, we're looking pretty well beat up, but all of our wounds have cauterized themselves, and somehow we still maintain our posture.
Nice.
And we ask Ash, what exactly do you mean by this?
Okay, well, so this is a bio machine, I believe is the term for it. It's really gross, but most of the people who were driving this thing are dead. And I think I can produce a helmet like the one that I'm wearing, where you don't have to actually hook your life up to this stupid robot, and you can just sort of drive it around and kill things.
So like that's something we can do now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's more backup coming, but okay, this is gonna sound really old at this point, but I have an idea. And part of it involves one of you being a robot. This robot. But not like permanently, just like driving it.
We hold out our arms and look at our hands and say, "Oh, this vessel is halfway to breaking. We could do with something a little more sturdy for the time being."
Great. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get out of here. Hold on a second. And then she opens the door, takes the helmet off that she's wearing, and she's like detached something off the wall that the helmet is hooked up to, and she says, "Okay, um, there's an extra helmet in here. I think I can rig it up to the control system, and I can climb inside one of those compartments and work remotely. And then we'll just need to find something for the other two to do to occupy themselves." Based on what I got from the sensors, I think there's some stabbing going on, and that's great. Anyway, look, come up here, and the robot like kneels down so that you can both climb up on its back, and the carapace has opened up, and there appears to be a cockpit in there. Like, it's not slimy. It doesn't look like it's actually been used, and there is a weird indentation in the panel where Ash jumps up and connects this big trunk of cables, and she says, "So, all you need to do is lay down and put this hat on, and then you are a spider until you decide not to be a spider."
This seems no stranger to us than the ritual that was our birth.
Great. See, I figured you would take to this like somebody who takes the things quickly.
Duck to water, perhaps.
Sure, that sounds
Or some
good.
fish to water.
And she taps on the carapace and it closes. And she says, "Okay, well, good luck. I think I've programmed the threat analysis module properly. I guess we'll see." Okay. Good luck. And she slides into one of those little side things that was full of goo, and she's got her basically it looks like a laptop with like some sort of harness sticking out of it. She goes, "Oh God, it's gross in here," and then she closes it and puts the helmet on. And Sage, how's things going with that guy that you're just kind of stabbing?
Remember what I did with the other guy?
Uh-huh. You
Repeat
made
that.
Okay, you're gonna arts and crafts this guy then.
Yep, I'm going to go fishing.
Great.
Oh my god.
Kalima. Ooh, you got
Oh.
a 3.
I was gonna
Don't
say
fish very
visceral
well.
attack.
It super is, or it would have been.
I
Somehow,
mean, I did
Yes,
make a
yourself.
hole in the chest, and the ribs are in the way.
yeah, I think as you reach, he bats you out of the way, gives you like a kick to the like solar plex, and then wails on you again with that baton. So it'll be another d6 plus 2, and he's going to kind of send you sprawling as he tries to find a new position. So he's going to try and run over to his friend, and I'm gonna say he gets to like right about here. And 6, have you put the helmet on?
Yeah.
Okay. So at first everything goes black, and then you're back in the server room. You have all of your consciousness and your awareness, and you're just way taller than you were before, and you're getting. It seems really natural the way that it feeds all of this analysis and stuff to you. Like, I mean, the ambient humidity in the room down to like the 10,000th percentile. The air conditioning system. When it's going to kick on. Patrol routes, and a targeting overlay feeds you information that a threat is visible over in this general area.
How many speakers do we have on our new body?
I don't know. Why don't you say something? Actually, no, you do know. It's there's like general communication speakers, and then there are a few of the like riot control, give me your attention megaphones embedded in it as well.
Can we make this body produce a sound like a foghorn?
Absolutely.
Against a warning to ships to stop before they hit the shore.
Yeah, I'm sure you can make some sort of brrrr sort of noise. Basically, it feels as natural as talking. Like you think the thing that you want to happen, and it just does it. There's no like clumsy interface. You don't have to figure out the command line stuff. It's just, I should do this, and then it's done.
Also, just to double check, Ash is in this thing with us.
Yeah, Ash is in some sort of like chest compartment on the side that she's kind of closed back up.
So we're going to position ourselves here
Okay.
and face like this way, and give these two a warning with a foghorn.
Okay. Let me. This is way harder to move than I thought. Oh god, I took everything but the body. Hold on.
Oh no.
Can I rotate it all? Yes. I took everything but a leg. Fuck. Or it's fine. That's the way we're facing now.
It has one less leg anyway.
Yeah.
Throw down your weapons, or be destroyed.
From over here, a sensor registers impact against the carapace. No more importantly than, like it doesn't seem like any higher priority than, oh, well, it's been this many days since we tested the fire alarm, or, oh, the AC is set to switch off in 28.7 minutes. Like it's just, oh yeah, we also got shot. No damage sustained. And then you hear in the distance, fuck you!
Can Neve just be behind that guy?
Very well. And we return fire.
Okay. So roll me a volley with a +4.
Jesus. So
Yeah, just 2d6 +4, I guess, would instead of having to click the move.
oh wow. The only way you could have failed that.
Hey, it's
Snake
a
eyes.
number.
It is. And somehow this guy knows some sort of flaw in the design of this thing that you don't know. He's hucked something and it's sailing through the air towards you. The warning alarms are definitely going off for that part. But he has slid up over here and is taking cover behind a thing that you can absolutely see over. But there's some sort of, it's not exactly a flashbang, but it screws up the air a bit to where it's harder for you to get any sort of like visuals. Like it's messing with your camera feed and your sensor array, but like Neve and Sage are fine.
So,
Neve's just
Chaff,
seeing red.
Yeah, basically. So I think Sage has acted. Neve, why don't you do a thing?
Okay, so that guy just does she hear anything?
You cut out right there. What'd you say?
Sorry, does she hear anything coming from down the hallway?
No, she doesn't hear anything. It just seems to be this giant spider thing and these two people.
Okay, well, does she doesn't know that 6 is in the giant spider thing.
Depends on
Six is gonna-
how much she was paying attention. Yeah, I think the speakers, when Six, said lower your weapons and stuff, I think that did come out in her voice, unless she chose for it not to.
Well, then, in which case she's gonna go after the guy who just.
Okay.
But if I remember rage version correctly, I have to roll.
You're cutting out like real bad. I'm not sure what's up.
I'm sorry. I need to look at my microphone.
Okay.
If I remember rage version correctly, and I know I'm gonna hinder my, but I have to roll to make sure I'm going after the right person.
Yeah. I guess roll me just roll like a D2 to see who you go after, unless you want to do like a con, defy danger to stay in control.
I'm gonna do a con defy danger.
Okay. 7 and 9, you're gonna have to roll a die to see which of the 4 people here you go after. A 3, I'm just gonna tell you, you're going swinging at that robot, my friend.
That's fine. Sorry, guys. I do get a XP for that though.
Great. I'm sure, when everybody is dead and buried at the end of this, they'll be super happy you got an extra XP.
Well, Neve's not gonna be dead. Neve's gonna be hard to take down. But... +3, 9.
Okay. That does not destroy the robot.
Oh no, that's not my damage.
Oh, that's a oh, okay.
That was a hack and slash.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay, so first we have to determine 6, are
Yeah,
are
6.
you going to deploy any sort of countermeasures against this assault that is happening against you?
Sorry, 6.
Uh,
For the record, I'm gonna start rolling the damage now.
Yeah, go for it.
we will just yell at me.
Okay.
Cease this foolishness.
15 damage.
So
Woof.
I don't know if my other move applies since this is damage to the machine.
I think the machine is basically like an extension of you right now. So
Yes.
I don't know that you're separate entities, aside from, different health pools and stuff. So if a move would apply, a move applies.
Alright.
2. Okay. So do you want to reduce the damage by that much?
Do we have a sense of how sturdy this thing is?
Um, it was pretty beaten up by that initial assault. Right now, it seems to be somehow just sort of leaking power. It's not on its last leg yet, haha, but it's not doing great. It's probably in the you're starting to get a bunch of yellow warnings and red error message boxes and stuff as some things are failing to process properly.
Yeah, sorry guys, this is why I wanted to be far away from you.
We'll reduce that damage again.
Okay. And let's see. Sage, what do you want to do? This one guy's kind of stopped in his tracks for the most part. It looks like he's trying to reach for some other gun holstered on his belt.
Sage is going to run at him and try to tackle him and slam his head against the floor.
Oh, great. Okay. That's another good hack and slash roll, it sounds like.
That's a good one.
10. Okay, do you want to open yourself up to counterattack as you do damage to this guy? An extra d6 out of it.
No.
Okay, totally fair.
And since this is with my hands, I is not going to use the sword.
Yeah, that's fair. Just do your normal class damage then. Okay, let's see. All right. This guy's not expecting this, and after his face is introduced to the floor once or twice, the gun that he's got in his hands that he was actually getting ready, like it had come free from the holster, and he was getting ready to draw it, and you tackled him, and that gun sort of comes to rest right next to you. And while you decide what you're gonna do, 6, I think you're up.
We step over the server rack in front of us
Okay.
and step on this guy.
Nice. Okay. Fuck, you're right there in your huge robot. Let's do hack and slash with like a +4 again.
Don't roll snake eyes again.
The odds of that are very small. 13.
Such as like how small this guy is now.
Yes. He has a lot of surface area now, not so much like density. Would you like to open yourself up to a counterattack to do extra damage to this person you're stepping on?
Considering the counterattack might be Neve, don't do that.
He's probably dead enough.
Okay, so that damage that you rolled against yourself, now you get to roll it against somebody else. So it's the 2d8 or 2d10 keep 1 plus 2d8 keep 1 plus 6. So I think if you hit up enough times, it'll be on like your history of things you've submitted, or you can just type it again. It's really up to you. Sometimes it's fun to type it all out because it makes you feel like you got like, this is a
It is.
thing I did. I'm building these numbers.
It's really fun to type that much out. Ooh.
22.
Did I get the syntax right on that?
Yes, you did. 22 out of a maximum of 24 on a guy who that's enough to kill him 3 times. So I think it actually takes you a try or two. Like you're getting after images of where this person is, and you're eliminating them via smush. So like after the first after image is smush and nothing happens, and you adjust and you adjust and you adjust and you adjust, and he's dead. Like all these adjustments maybe happen in like a fraction of a second. So all this dude sees is a whir of foot and then squish. And there's one left, and I think at this point, with 2 people trying to, or a person trying to actively brain him on the floor, a spider bot who doesn't have another target, and a rageaholic axe murderer in the distance with rapidly diminishing target count, I think he's just going to put his hands up. And
Sage is going to grab the gun and hammer it against the guy's head.
nice. Okay, just roll me your damage, because I mean he's not resisting at this point, and I don't think he's paying attention to you. So that attack automatically is a success.
And Arid, I'm just gonna do this because we did kind of last time.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna roll another Constitution check to calm down before attacking again.
Yeah, that's fine. It's like a oh yeah.
11. Yeah.
How
it's just-
convenient. You see the white flag and your vision is suddenly no longer red.
We're
Nice.
kind of standing over this splattered corpse.
The last time Neve raged and didn't calm down, a person died. So she's not gonna do that again.
She is an ex-Rona. She has ceased to be.
I love that sketch.
She's pining for the fjords.
There's got to be vampiring for the fjords. I don't know. I feel like there's something. It needs to be workshopped, but I think we could work a vampire reference in there.
I would like to point out that Neve could have totally taken this thing single-handedly if we didn't take control of it.
Oh, we believe you.
Yeah, after 2 hits, this thing was it was not great. And that guy had some. He basically had some EMP ammo that he was going to use on the spider and try to at least take parts of it down, if not the whole thing.
Neve's gonna start collecting all the ammo.
Okay. So there's some. A lot of it doesn't look like it's going to fit in your gun specifically. There's a few that probably will. The electric stuff, it doesn't seem like it's some sort of weird special gun.
She's gonna also look at those and like take the guns too, and just to examine.
Okay, yeah,
Probably even use them in her weapon, but probably just examine them to
Yeah.
see if she can figure it out later.
it's like 3 or 4 weight worth of guns and ammos and all that kind of stuff. If you want to pack it all.
Yep.
I think I missed at some point. Is number 2 just dead?
He surrendered, and Sage has pistol whipped him rather vigorously, I believe. He's not dead yet, but he doesn't look great. So what do y'all want to do with this captive you have now?
One, Neve is going to get rid of the metal tubes and just place them. He's going to be full.
Okay.
It's going to be 3.
Inventory management sim. Bow, 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 bow.
I assume someone is going to stop Sage because he's really into beating this guy.
Neve's going to actually go over to Sage and grab his hand, and she been through enough. You can stop it. Character group.
Sage just looks at Nim, shrugs, and then gets off the guy, keeping the gun for himself.
Okay. I think this person is like on the ground in the fetal position, coughing, and there's like little sprays of blood coming out.
Ash, are you done yet?
Funny enough, yes. For now, it's
What do you-
so. I'll explain it in the on the elevator ride back. But until then, we have some things we need to work on.
Okay, Neve's gonna. Okay, like what?
Remember that security desk? I need Neve and Sage to go there.
Why just me and Sage?
Well, because one of us is a robot, and way too big to do the thing I need,
Yeah.
and the other one of us is in the robot's chest and gooey.
Okay, Neve's gonna head over and is gonna go over and do that, and she's gonna look back at Sage and she's like, "Don't kill." Points at Sage. You. Points at Thing. No kill. And then she's gonna go to the desk.
Sage nods and follows.
Yes, 6.
As they go on their way, we will say, "Be safe, friends. You will be fine." And all the thing.
You can totally, head over there and provide Overwatch support if you would like.
Do we get +4 to this roll as well?
Yes.
Wait, what kind of support?
She's basically rolling a defend, I think.
Okay, cool.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm rolling a class move that uses charisma actually.
Oh, okay.
Still +4?
Let's do that at +2, 3. +3.
Yeah, I feel like that's with 6's stat, not the machines.
Yeah,
because the
yeah,
machine is
let's-
kind of terrifying.
Yeah, let's do that as a +2. Because for you, you're just having a normal conversation with your buds.
Nice.
So you are fearless.
Neve laughs. Already was that.
So yes, if you two head over to the security desk, there's going to be 2 rather comfortable-looking office chairs where the 2 security guards were sitting.
And as they walk, Sage is inspecting the handgun while humming a tune
Okay.
with healing properties.
I
to his
like it.
phone.
Okay.
Oh, this is
Ouch.
Oh my God, sakes, guys! Stop trying to get me. It never goes right.
Wait, do we have like omnidirectional cameras on this thing?
Oh yeah, you've not only that, you can if you want to extend your consciousness a little, you can basically access cameras anywhere on this floor.
Nice.
So I could like see what's going on and
Yes.
talk to them from afar.
Yeah, you're not omniscient, but you are this floor-shient.
The floor is now 6.
Pretty good.
It's now the 6th floor.
I like it. Welcome to floor 217, or as we call it, the 6th floor.
Okay, so what happens when Sage rolls that 5? Does he hurt me?
What was it that you were attempting to do? You were attempting to heal Neve?
Yeah.
So in your
It was fine.
in your inspection and idle humming, you accidentally shoot Neve in the shoulder. So roll me a d8, please, for the damage you do to Neve.
Neve never gets healed. I'm just saying, don't heal Neve. It doesn't go well.
I think she's terrified of good intentions by this point.
Oh my God. I
Road
would like to
to
point
hell
out
is
that's the
paved
most damage I've taken.
That's true.
How are you in help?
Neve just glares at him.
Here, I got you this health potion. Oops, I'll fire. Here, I got you these bandages. Oops, it's snake toxin.
Hey, let me lay on hands you. Oops, I blinded you. Hey, let me heal you. Oops, I killed you.
It's sandpaper instead of bandages.
Oh God.
It's like it's sandpaper, but the grit is made out of like sea salt or something.
Neve turns to him and she's like, "Don't heal me. Just no. It never goes well. I'm fine."
So, Ash asks, okay.
We're at the security desk.
Yes, you're at the security desk. Ash says there should be 2 of those interface helmets. She needs each of you to put one on.
Seishu shakes her head as saying no.
I'm gonna discern realities there.
Guys, I'm working on the system. I need you to make a few decisions for me, and you can't do it without the data feed that being connected to the system will give you. I'm not going to kill you. 5. Ask a question.
Yep. What should I be on the lookout for?
Well, I was gonna say the Wrath of Ash if you like fuck up this mission, but like that's the for real answer. I need to tell you a lie I want to be on the lookout for.
The Wrath of Ashley.
One of the chair that she's asking you to sit in has blood in it, and it's like super icky. So like if you had another chair, the rest of it's fine.
Neve pushes that chair over and sits on the desk and puts the helmet on.
Okay.
And but before she puts the helmet on, she looks at you, Sage, and she's like, if Ash tries to take control of me and stuff, I'm going to kill her. Just letting you know. This is just going to you. If she does say, I'm gonna kill her. Puts a helmet on.
Seishu's nuts.
The whole body thing is overrated. I'm kind of it's a whole I'll tell you later. So
Put her on the list.
yeah. So your focus is split almost. She's like, okay, ooh, this is fun. And like all your senses kind of go fuzzy for a second, and then it's you, Neve, but digital, standing in front of Ash, but digital, in front of these 2 doors. And one of them has it looks like a pod on it, and one of them has some sort of a tube thing that looks very similar to a gun. And she says, I need you to make a choice about what thing you're going to make a choice about. Would you like door number 1 or door number 2?
What are the choices that I'm going to be making about?
Let's say that life and death hang in the balance. Not for you.
Never for me, always for the people I care about.
Oh,
She
no.
looks at the...
No, not them either. They're fine. I wouldn't hurt them.
Neve glares at Ashley. Okay, what are the 2 doors again?
There's one looks like a pod and one looks like a gun.
I'm trying... Neve... I actually think Neve would go toward the pod, not the gun.
Okay. So you do that, and you get your attention is pulled and stretched and braided, and eventually you get this. You have full understanding of a good 10, 20 floors of the monarchy towards the bottom, and it is just I mean, probably at least like 5 or 10 square miles of these pods. And each one of the pods has a person in it. And in order to keep each of those people in those pods, resources are used: food, water, energy, and somehow digital Ash walks up in your vision as if you were looking at like a camera or something, and she says, "So, I need you to decide." And she holds out one hand, and it's got like a light bulb, and she holds out another hand, and it's got like a little kind of cartoon drawing of a person. And she says, "I need you to decide whether we need these people more, or whether we need the power and the resources more for the people up top."
Neve looks at it. What does what if I were to choose the power? What would that do?
We would, if you were to choose the power, then you would turn off all of the resources being sent to all of these pods.
Who are these people?
Various upper echelon people in the company, those who had enough money worldwide to pay to be preserved until such a time as conditions improved. For the most part, these are the people who caused the suffering of all the people who are currently wandering every other floor in this building. All of those who are held by contract and who are indentured servants and working off a debt thousands of years old, those debts are in the hands of these people.
Are they worth saving?
Are they?
Can we hear any of this?
I don't think so.
Neve puts her hands in her pockets and these people. And she's gonna actually go around and look at everyone.
Okay.
And she's gonna look at Ash and she says, "Is there a way just to let them out of the pods and then move them up to the Menanke, or what is?"
No. We don't have what it takes to support these people roaming around. So the only two options I can see are leave them be or shut off the supplies to them. In which
Eric,
case, we
question.
have coffins. So many coffins, just ready-made with the bodies already in them. Yes.
Question. When Neve is going around, is there a single child in any of them?
No, so each of the people has like a record. And like there's a designation like, oh, this is supposed to be for this person, or this is supposed to be for this person. And a bunch of them where it's like, oh, this is supposed to be for this person's child. It's like amended and it says, pod sold to higher bidder, that sort of thing.
Okay, so there is no children in this one, and I just see.
I don't think
older-
there's anybody under the age of like 30 or 40 in here.
I think the thing that really did get this one is the pod sold the highest bid. And Neve is like, what kind of monsters bid life? She looks at Ashley and she's like, we need to talk after this.
About a lot, yeah.
Neve goes past her and she's going to hit the light bulb, which I'm guessing turns off this power.
Mm-hmm. It basically, you get readouts where like there's a whole lot more like protein slurry, I think is how it's just referred to in the systems. There's a lot of that that's not being used by all these people. There's a bunch more of the power reserves, wherever they may be, are available now for other things. That sort of stuff.
I always have to be the monster, and then she goes out, and then guess the next one is
Okay.
up to Sage.
So Neil gives their home to Sage.
Yeah, that's Neve comes back, and she's like, "It's your turn."
Sage just puts his hands out, like rejecting the helmet.
That's fine. I'll just give 6 2 choices. And 6, your sensors kind of go blank, and it's very much the same thing, except there's all 6 of you standing kind of side by side, and Ash is in front of you, and she says, "Well, it's kind of a hell of a burden to put 2 of these decisions on somebody, and if you don't want to accept it, you don't have to. But a decision still needs to be made. So, how do you want to proceed?"
We'll do the other. She does.
We have no sense of the weight of this burden, but we will take it on nonetheless.
Very well. I guess the first thing is we have a lot more resources floating around now. We can either put that towards the manufacture of weapons. I have ideas for smaller versions of the spider that you currently are, and maybe some metal suits for like individual people to wear. We can work on that, or we can put those resources towards finding ways to generate, maybe more water or more food. But I don't think we can't do both well. We can do one of them well, and the other one will have to fall by the wayside. So I guess I need you to decide if we're building swords or plowshares.
So, Fighter 6 responds to this one. She says, "We have never seen a problem solved by throwing more swords. So, let there be more water, more food."
Very well. We'll begin work. And the second part. A decision was made, and we had one resource issue that's been dealt with. We do have another. There are approximately, at this point, 8,000 indentured workers here. They require food, they require a place to stay, they require energy to keep the lights on here. They don't have to die. I don't think I would allow it in the first place. The question is, do we put them to work for us, continue their servitude, but towards our means, or do we bring them to the surface and send them on their way to try and survive above ground?
Is it not so that the ghost of this tower is no longer our enemy?
It is. Provided my plan succeeds, a version of me will have full control over the facilities and operations of this wretched place.
Then we have more than enough room to house all of these people.
So be it. Do we give them the choice to leave, or do we keep them in the dark?
Let us release them from their servitude. And if they choose to serve us, let it be willingly.
Very well. That should be all. So everything kind of fades away, and for the most part, Six, you have full control over yourself again, except for you realize that one of your, it's like a little hollow broadcaster. It's used to make, virtual representations of people in the real world. It's on, and it's Ashley, however you want to talk to her, or whatever you want to call her. She says, so it's done. I'm in control of all of this, but I kind of won't. I won't be coming back up with you. I kind of live here now, I guess. I think something went wrong with the transfer or something, but I'm 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 the system now. So if it's not too much to ask, if you could if you could maybe just bring that um, bring the husk up and tell them everything's fine. Or I'll leave that part up to you, but yeah. When this is all said and done, maybe I can fabricate a new me, but we don't have the time and we don't have the resources right now. So yeah, you all did great, and thanks.
Ash,
Yeah. Excuse me.
Neve is like angry, but like you can see like she's tearing up as well
Mhm.
at this point, and she's like, "We." I'm sorry.
You're fine. Look,
I killed you.
well, no. My plan did stuff, and I'm not dead. I'm still here. Like I'm still talking. It's still me, regardless of how you want to see that. It's more me than it's ever been. But look, I'm not gone. I am just temporarily misplaced. Look at it that way. I'm a shoe that you can't find yet, and I'll be back. And hey, if you ever need to talk, I'm here. I I can still have I still have ideas. I can still give feedback. I can help. I can help more than I was able to help when I only had legs and arms. all of those times.
You helped me enough, she says, like holding herself a little bit.
The hologram comes up and like puts a hand on your shoulder. Says, "Look, I've been waiting 5,000 years to be able to make a difference, and now I can. More of a difference than I've ever been able to make before, and I couldn't have
True.
I couldn't have done this without all of you, and
You
that-
made a difference to me.
and hey, I still can. We can still be friends. Who doesn't want to be friends with like a weird, glowy blue ghost? That's cool, right? Right?
I don't want a glowy ghost. I want. Never mind. And Neve's gonna walk off and crying a little bit.
Sage follows, trying to comfort her somehow,
Um,
and they actually give them a flower that they got from who knows where.
Neve, thank you. She looks back at Ash and she's like, I never had a sister. You always felt like one.
and hey, I mean, 100% same feeling. Just it's just we're gonna be apart for a little bit of time, and it's fine. And you know what? If there's ever been any other reason for you to go kick this weird shadow thing's ass, I don't know, just add this to the list. Once it's gone, uh, you know, Ash can come back and have like feet and stuff, and we can shut down this stupid war machine.
Neve nods. And she goes to the car and she's like, wait, none of us can drive.
It drives itself. It's fine. Look, I control everything here. And like the car just slowly starts like doing barrel rolls in place. She's like, look, I can do all kinds of cool stuff.
Neve gets in the car.
6, are you gonna want to take the robot with you?
Yes, take the robot.
We're going to talk to Ash for a little longer first.
Oh shit! Before Neve leaves, she goes to that guard. He said to wait outside. He gets his ammo.
Yeah, that guard totally ran the hell away once the robot came and the fighting started.
Totally killing that guy next time I see him. I told him I would.
That's fair. And yeah, we can do the the 6 and Ash talk. Maybe let's do that maybe after we wrap the session up, so we can have some mysteries.
Ooh,
Okay.
mystery. Yes, we're bringing Ash's body up. By the way, if that wasn't obvious.
Okay. Oh, so we'll get back to the conversation part. Are you bringing the robot with you? Ash is totally cool with it.
Do it. He wants to examine it.
It makes perfect sense to bring back this perfectly usable spider bot.
And look, I know it's the way it's originally designed, but don't let it run off of people. This whole corporation runs off of people, and I'm not okay with that.
We shall have to see about an alternative fuel source.
I think it can run off of solar energy, maybe. You won't be able to use it as much, but it won't be running off of people. So I feel like that's a consideration.
Very important consideration.
Yeah.
Enough lives have been trampled underfoot by these ghosts.
They have.
Literally by the spider thing. Hey, six. Will you let Neve like tinker around with the mech suit so she can figure out how to make her own mech suit? It's still your mech suit. She just wants to examine it.
I think we have to think about that forever.
You get this visual on the HUD 6 of Ash pinching like the bridge of her nose and like sighing. She's always taking stuff apart. Take care of her if you would until I get back. She's a good kid, but she needs somebody to look out for her. She's physically strong, but
No,
she's
she's not. She's just fast.
yeah. Just if you can, if there's time, I know there's a lot going on, just check in on her. This is probably not going to go super well with her.
We will do as we are able.
Thanks. That's all I ask. And I think after that, you're all ushered back to the top floor through the little. You have to take a service elevator because one of you is a giant spider robot. The teleport thing seems to go fine. It's totally cool. It doesn't even talk to you. It doesn't talk to you in a normal voice. It sounds a lot like Ash, but sort of like monotone. It's like, have a nice trip. And it goes, boink. And it's not like a rough transport anymore. It's gentle and you don't feel like you're being ripped or poured into things. And you make it to the top, and you now have a giant spider robot with 5 legs.
And also Ash is the Menanke.
Also that. That's just like a minor footnote. It's totally fine.
I feel like learning something new and interesting about the get that check.
Gotcha.
That
So
check
wait,
mark
is Ash Killian's god now?
That gets into a lot of religious semantics that we have to talk to Matt about first.
I feel like Killian's gonna be super jealous that he didn't get to turn into the Menanke.
There's still time. There's still time. There always has to be something running the Menanke. So when Ash is done, after this is all done, it might be a career opportunity for Killian.
There's an opening.
Yes. What were you saying, Danielle?
What's that?
I thought you were saying something. I could have been mistaken.
Oh, I was going to say before that's a check mark in a 24 point font and bold.
Yeah. Underline like glow text.
And I'm pretty sure a unique treasure, the giant spider bot counts as a treasure.
We'll get there. We'll get there. So mission debrief. You all, I mean, you took the mission, successfully completed it. You returned back with everyone, technically, I guess? With everybody. That's what it was. You returned with everybody, so we can lawyer our way through that.
Oh, we still have to talk about what we're doing with Ash's body at some point, I think.
Yeah, we can maybe start the next session with that and figure that part out. That'll give us time to talk in chat for like a week and just no preface, just say, hey, so what should we do with Ash's body? And then just
Totally writing it now.
So you got those 3 XP. There was I only had like one bonus one in mind, which was like none of the servers get messed up, but that that happened. So it's 3 XP for that. Let's go down the alignment and stuff. Excuse me, Neve, what's your alignment?
Good. Protect someone weaker than you.
What do you think?
Ash is arguably, but she did stop Sage from killing that guard.
Yeah, I'll allow it. Sage, what's your alignment?
Avoid a conflict or diffuse a tense situation, which
Um,
considering he hammered someone's head in, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you were real close to just braining someone with the butt of a pistol. So I'm gonna say no on that XP trigger. And
Wait,
6.
did it say avoid a tense situation?
Diffuse a tense situation and like avoid conflict.
Oh, damn. Never mind. I was gonna be. If it's avoid a tense situation, you avoided the hell out.
Well, it was pretty tense that the guy might have actually gotten some EMP ammo loaded until Sage smashed him on the floor.
That guy's gonna wake up with such a headache.
What are y'all doing with that dude?
Oh, he's coming with us.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna have to. That dude is coming
is
to
Greg.
3 Gs.
Yep, that's what's on his card. It's Greg with 3 Gs. Oddly, but like it's on 3 Gs on each side though.
Yeah, it's future's weird. The past future. Anyway, 6. What is your alignment?
Neutral. Exchange a sacrifice freely given for a service rendered.
Mm, I was gonna say like you putting your body on the line to help out feels like something like that. Like you're freely giving of yourself so that Ash could do this thing for the good of town. I mean, that's a service rendered and a sacrifice freely given, I would think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So we've got so remember alignment XP and failure XP goes to that specific character, and then the post mission XP and the end of session stuff that we're about to get to goes to your character and the character pool that we've got. Excuse me. So end of session. Did we learn something new and important about the world? I can't think of
Ash
anything.
is a medic.
I can't think of anything. That's what. Overcome a notable monster or enemy. I mean, I feel like the Menanke counts here.
Also, Neve totally could have taken that spider thing single-handedly. Say.
Well, she whacked it pretty hard, and then Ash took control of it, so it was overcome.
Yeah. And loot a memorable treasure.
I think
Save.
giant spider counts.
Sage got their first gun.
Well, there you go.
Sage got a gun. Da-da-da.
So in season one, at some point when Rona became a vampire, they started saying in chat, "Give Rona a gun." And I think at this point, now that Rona is not like currently playing, I've handed out like 7 guns.
Most of them to Neve for some reason, though.
Oh, yeah, I just like to keep making bad decisions.
Give the orc with anger issues a guns. What could go wrong?
I mean, I figure if you have Rage Potion and Gun Kata, it could be pretty cool. I've seen
That's what was gonna
Equilibrium.
happen. If she survived, if the fight went on longer, she was gonna shoot the shit out of people.
Nice. Yeah, so I think that should be all the things. And then before the next session, Danielle, we should have the 6 and Ash talk, and y'all should figure out what to do with Ash's body. Tell people yes or no? Funeral yes or no?
I think definitely. That's just me.
But yeah, so we'll figure all it out before the next time, and that should be it for tonight. We are almost half an hour over our normal quit time, so sorry about that. Um, thank you to our three lovely players who came out tonight. Thank you to those of you who tuned into the live broadcast, and thanks to those of you who are catching the VOD or the audio at some point in the future. You're all fantastic. We get by based on everyone's continued support and word of mouth. So if you can leave reviews on whatever method that you are experiencing us, that seems like a weird phrase. If you can leave a review for us, that helps a lot. If you'll tell friends, that also helps. Word of mouth is huge. And if you like to let your money talk for you, you can subscribe to us on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription every month. And also, no, I got it. It's fine. Don't worry.
Aaron?
What?
Andrew messaged me like 30 minutes ago and I didn't see it. That the stream fell off of Twitch.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
I've got it recording locally. It was dropping a crap ton of frames, so I didn't.
I was like, oh
do that
no,
part.
I messed up.
No, it's fine. And also we have a Patreon. If you want to go to patreon.com/thatdndpodcast, podcast, and we're also that D&D podcast pretty much everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. And that should be everything. And I'm going to cut this off before I continue to ramble. So once again, thank you everyone. You've all been rad, and have a great night.